Hi, good morning students. So this is Dr. P. Sivaprasad. So Associate Professor of Mathematics, Division of Mathematics in the Department of Science and Humanities in VFSTR Demo2B University. So in my previous lecture, we discussed how the partial fractions, so we have to that is decompose the complex fraction into the two simpler fractions only. So there are the several types are there. So in that type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4, all these concepts you have to see. So in my previous lecture, today onwards, I have to discuss the concept of mathematical induction. So what is called the mathematical induction? So this is the second part of the unit 1 in engineering mathematics 1B. How this mathematical induction is to be useful in our core subjects. Whatever the statements or the results are there, so that the results we have to prove by using of this mathematical induction or the statements. So that is to be useful in our core subjects only. That is why this topic is to be included in our engineering mathematics 1B. How? So please all of you go to the engineering mathematics 2B. This is our course. Now the second topic is this is principle of the mathematical induction. So principle of mathematical induction. So in the previous topic, that is partial fractions, is to be over. Now present, so that is the mathematical induction concept. So this is to be useful for you. So at the end of this session, the student will be able to understand the difference between the inductive and the deductive reasoning. They will be able to apply the principle of mathematical induction to establish the validity of general results involving natural numbers. Now, before going to enter into the concept of mathematical induction, first of all, we have to know the definition of mathematical induction. What is called the induction? Before going to enter into the actual subject, we will do some of the problems that is called the motivation only for the purpose. So find the value of 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 plus white is. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12 plus and 1 by 20, that should be extended up to the 11 terms. We will require the total sum of those 11 terms. So this is what we will require. So for this, the first term, that is 1 by 2, that may be getting as it is, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2. And the second one is, so please all of you observe this, we will require the summation of those two numbers, that is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6. That is why, so 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 is equal to, so I have to take the LCM, so that is equal to, we will get that is 4 by 6, then automatically we have to cancelize this, that is 2 to 3, that is equal to 2 by 3 we will get. Here we will get the LCM value is to be 6, that is 2 3 plus 6 1, that is equal to 4 by 6. Have to cancelize this, then automatically we will get that is 2 by 3. This is the summation of the two terms that may be in the series of the 11 terms. Okay. Now, after that, so we will require for the summation of these three numbers, that is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12 and so on. So then this is, so 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12, already this is to be over, then this value is to be 4 by 6. Now we will require for, we have to add this 4 by 6 to 1 by 12, then we will get, in the similar way, so we have to extend it up to, so the next term is to be 1 by 20. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 20. If you have to do like that, then this is equal to, please all of you see this is the first term, that is equal to 1 by 2 we'll get. And the second term is to be, so that is T2, that is equal to 2 by 3. So then what is to be going on? So in the second term, that should be added to 1. So and the numerator has actual term, that is T2. In that similar way, this is a 3 by 4, this is the third term. So then this is 3 value is to be, that is the third term that is to be required in the numerator, and the 4 is to be the next term, that is 4, that is equal to 3 by 4. So if you have to do like that, the 11th term is, that means T11 is equal to, that is 11 by, so 12. This is the total summation of the 11th terms after getting of this series. How this 11 by 12 is to be occurs? So this is the whole process what we have to done in the problem, So then, so how we have to assume this? So this first term is to be 1 by 2, and the second term is to be 2 by 3, and the third term is to be, that is 3 by 4. Like that, have to continue up to the 11th term is to be 11 by 12. That means here the series that follows. So then this is equal, the first one is to be 1 by 2, and the second one is to be 2 by 3, and the third one is to be, so that is 3 by 4, and this is extended up to, that is total value is to be 11 by 12. 11 by 12. How we have to say that? That involves a mathematical induction process. That means the pattern is there in that series. So by using of that pattern, so we have to tell the total summation of that 11th term is to be 11 by 12. So if you have to continue this way, then the summation of the 11th, all the 11th terms is to be 11 by 12. Hence, in this problem, we are analyzing this pattern. Now, we have to enter the concept of mathematical induction. So, before going to enter into the actual subject, there are some applications are there. So, in that, so we have to consider one ladder. Suppose that we have an infinite ladder. Please, all of you keep in your mind. So, we have to consider in that ladder is to be infinite steps in that ladder. So, therefore, suppose that we have an infinite ladder as shown in the figure, and we want to know whether we can reach every step on this ladder. We know two things. The first one is we can reach the first rung of a ladder. Rung means that is nothing but of the step of a ladder. Have to consider like this. So we can reach the first rung of the ladder. So suppose the student has to be reach the first rung of the ladder. If we can reach a particular rung of the ladder, then we can reach the next rung. Suppose the same person is to be reach the kth rung, then automatically he may be reach the k plus 1th rung also of the ladder. So therefore, so the logic behind this that is called the mathematical induction only. So can we conclude that we are able to reach every rung of this infinite ladder? That means this is possible. So the answer is as something we can verify. So using an important proof technique called as the mathematical induction. Here, that means the logic reasoning, the logic or the reasoning, we should be involved in that. So that logic is called as the mathematical induction only. So to prove that, first of all, how we have to prove this? So the person has to be reach the first step of the ladder, then automatically, so the same person has to be reach the kth step, then automatically he may be reach the k plus 1th step also. Now, so to prove that P of n is true, P of n is nothing but of the person has to be reach or the last rung of that ladder. So to prove that P of n is true for all positive integer n, where P of n is a proportional function, so we complete it with 2 steps. So there are the 2 major steps are there while you have to prove the statement or the proposition. So in the mathematical, so that is called as to be the principle of mathematical induction. So first step is, that is a basis step, what we have to call it as, the first step is to be basis step. To prove that P of n is true for all positive integers n, where P of n is the proportional function, we complete it two steps. The first step is called as basis step. Please all of you keep in your mind. So here what we have to assume, so that is we have to consider as to be the basis step. So verify that P of 1 is true. That means here what we have to take the example, the person has to be reach the first step, that is n is equal to 1. Then automatically, so we can verify that P of n is to be true. That is called the first step or the basis step. And the second step is the inductive step. We show that the conditional statement P of k, that implies P of k plus 1 is true for all positive integers of k. That means the meaning of this one is, what we can conclude that if the person is to be reached the kth rung of ladder, then automatically he may be reached the k plus 1 also. So this is the final statement. That means, so the logic or the reasoning which should be involved in that the same person has to be reached the first step, then he reached the k step, automatically the k plus 1th step is also to be reached. Then, so this logic is called as the mathematical induction. All of you get your point? Now, so this is the inductive step. Second step is inductive step. Inductive step means if the person has to be reached the kth step, then automatically he may be reached the k plus 1th step also. Therefore, we show that the conditional statement P of k implies P of k plus 1 is true for all positive integer values of k. Similarly, next one. So the principle of mathematical induction, the assumption that P of k is true called as the inductive hypothesis. Whatever we have to conclude that, please all of you see this. If what we have to take the assumption is, if the person has to be reached the kth step, that is called our assumption only. That is called our assumption only. Then, so the assumption of P of k is true called as the inductive hypothesis. This is the second step of the mathematical induction. Now, when we use the mathematical induction to prove a theorem, we first show that P of 1 is true. That means for n equal to 1, the result is true. Prove. Then we know that P of 2 is true. So because P of 1 implies P of 2. Suppose this is also the another way of the mathematical induction. So then here what we did, so P of 1 at n is equal to 1, P of 1 is to be true. Then so and also n equal to 2, had to prove that P of 2 is also to be true. That means the same person has to be reached the second step also. For n equal to 2, P of 2 is true. If P of 1 is to be happens, then automatically P of 2 is to be happens. That means P of 1 implies P of 2. If the same person has to be reached the third step, so then automatically the person has to be reached the P of 4 also. That means here what we did, so here P of 1 implies P of 2 and P of 2 implies P of 3. Then, so if you have to continue like this process, then, so if the same person has to be, please say this, so counting along these lines, so we see that P of n is true for every positive integer n. This is also the another way of the principle of mathematical induction. Now, so in that first step, so we can reach the first rung of the ladder, and the second one is if we can reach the particular rung of the ladder, then we reach the next rung. So here, verify that P of 1 is true. Next one. So inductive step is, so P of k is true. That means the person is to be reached the kth step, then automatically k plus 1th step is also to be reached. Is true for all positive values of n. So therefore P of n is true for all positive values of n. So where P of n is the statement that we can reach the nth rung of the ladder, consequently we can invoke the mathematical induction to conclude that we can reach every rung of a ladder. So this is also the another way of we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. Now, how this mathematical induction works by using of this domino effect. This is called as domino effect. So this already we have to see so in our daily life. So this is there are the so 100 that is steps are there. 100 books are we have to put like this way. So with the numbers, if suppose the first book is to be fall down, then automatically second one fall down, third one fall down, fourth one. So automatically the last 100th book is also to be fall down. So this effect is called as the dominoes effect. Domino effect. So how this mathematical induction has to be follows like this in this domino effect. So step 1, the first domino is to be false. The first domino is to be false. Then step 2, when any domino falls, the next domino will false, all domains will fall. This how the mathematical induction works. So one thing you have to observe this. So this is the example for the second one. If suppose the first one, the domino is to be false, and the second domino is also to be false, third one, fourth one, sixth one, and also 50th one, and also 100th one is also to be fall down. So this is called as the domino effect. Whatever we said in the mathematical induction, that is really applicable this example. Next, coming to the another example, live example, real life example. There are infinitely many stations on a train route. Suppose that the train stops at the first station, and suppose that if the train stops at a station, then it stops at the next station. So that the train stops at all the stations. This is what we have to prove. This is the statement. The train will stop at all the stations. This is our conclusion. Whether our statement is to be correct or not, we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. Now, so this is our what we have to prove. Let P of n be the statement that the train stops at a station n. That is what we have to that is assume like this. So what this one is to be proved. So the basic step is we are told that P of n is true. P of n is true means that means here there are the infinitely many stations on a train route. Suppose that here we have to take the supposition is the train stops at the first station. The train stops at the first station. That means at n is equal to 1, the result is to be true. That means here the condition is to be given automatically. Then, so that is why I have to take the basic step is, so we are told that P of 1 is true. So inductive step means what we did. So at the kth step is to be true, we have to assume like that. So at k plus 1 we have to prove the given statement. That is why I have to consider the statement is we are told that P of k implies P of k plus 1 for each n greater than or equal to 1. That automatically given in the problem. So that means the train will stop at least one station. So that is why I have to take the condition is n greater than or equal to 1. Therefore, by the principle of mathematical induction, P of n is to be true for all positive integers of n. So the mathematical induction is particularly well suited for proving the statement, proving such formulas are valid. However, summation formulas can be proven in other ways also. So here, whatever the propositions or the statements that should be available in the mathematics, all those statements or the propositions we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. But one of the major disadvantages for this principle of mathematical induction is to be whatever we have to prove, so we have to consider that one. So that is why that is the major disadvantage of that principle of mathematical induction. So this is the major disadvantage of using the mathematical induction. So we cannot use it to derive this formula. Okay, that is why. Now, so this is the problem what we have to say, that is show that if n is a positive integer n, the positive integer, then the sum of the first n natural numbers is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus n is equal to n into n plus 1. This is what we have to prove, but we have to use that one only. That is the major disadvantage for the principle of mathematical induction. Now here what we have to prove, that is the sum of the first n natural numbers is to be n into n plus 1 by 2. So here this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So first we have to say that there are the two steps we have to follow for proving the any statement in the mathematical induction. So the first one is for n is equal to 1, we have to prove the given statement. That means we have to put, so n is equal to 1. Put n is equal to 1. That means in the left hand side that having the only one term only. That is, so 1 is equal to. In the left hand side that is equal to 1. In the right hand side we have to put in place of n by 1. that means you have to replace in place of n by 1, that is 1 into 1 plus 1, so by 2. Then this is equal to 2 by 2, then automatically this is equal to 1. Therefore, here what we will get? At the particular value of n is equal to 1, the given statement LHS equal to RHS. Then what you have to conclude that? The given statement, so P of 1 is to be true. P of 1 is to be true. At n is equal to 1, the given statement is to be true. Now, so for proving of this, what you have to, that means assume like that, if the same summation of kth term is to be true, we have to assume like that, then automatically the given statement is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. Have to see with this example, that is, so let P of n be the proposition that the sum of the first n natural numbers, this is what we have to prove. We must do two things to prove that P of n is true. So for n is equal to 1, 2, 3, namely, so you must show that P of 1 is true, and that the conditional statement P of k implies P of k plus 1 is true for k is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on. Show that if n is a positive integer, this is what we have to prove. That means the basis step, this is P of 1 is true because, so here 1 is equal to 1 into 1 plus 1 by 2, that is already we did. So then 1 is equal to, that means automatically this is 2 by 2, so that is equal to 1. So that means the left hand side is equal to 1 and the right hand side is also equal to 1. Therefore, at the case of P of 1, the given statement is to be true. Now, have to assume that at k terms, that means the sum of the first k natural numbers is to be true. So that means we have to prove that the given statement is to be true for n equal to k plus 1. That is why we have to assume that P of k is true for all positive integers of k. So this is called the inductive hypothesis. This is the second step what we have to follow in the mathematical induction. Inductive hypothesis. So that means, so P of k is to be true. P of k is to be true means the sum of the first k natural numbers is to be true. That is why I have to take the summation is to be k into k plus 1 by 2. What is our claim? This is our claim. So our claim is nothing but of, so what we have to show? What we have to show? So under the assumption P of k plus 1 is to be true. That is what we did. Next one. Second one is, so add so k plus 1 to both sides of the assumption equation in P of k. Therefore, that is why we have to take the k plus 1, we have to add in the left hand side and right hand side of the result, whatever we have to assume, so P of k is to be true. That means k plus 1, take 2 as to be LCM, then 2 into k plus 1, then automatically we will get, this is k square plus k plus 2k plus 2 by 2. Okay, now, so this is equal to, so from the first two terms I have to take k as to be common, k into k plus 1 plus in the remaining two terms I have to take 2 as to be common, k plus 1 by 2. Then automatically we will get this is to be k plus 1 into k plus 2 by 2. K plus 1 into k plus 2 by 2. So this is how we have to write, this is equal to k plus 1 into this k plus 2 I have to written as k plus 1 by 2. K plus 1 by 2. So therefore, so here, so in that given condition, please all of you observe this, in the given condition what we have to prove, this is the sum of the first natural numbers. The sum of the first natural numbers. This is what we have to prove. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. So just only have to replace in place of n by k plus 1. In place of n by k plus 1, that means we'll get, so k plus 1, so that means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on plus k plus 1 is equal to, so k plus 1 into, that means k plus 1 by 2. So then automatically we will get the same result. Therefore, at the stage of, so n is equal to k plus 1, the result is to be true. Therefore, the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. By the principle of mathematical induction, the result is true for all positive values of n. Therefore, this is our conclusion. Now, all of you catch my point? Next, coming to the second example. Use the mathematical induction to show that 1 plus 2 square plus so on plus 2 power n is equal to 2 power n plus 1 minus 1. 2 power n plus 1 minus 1, where here the condition is to be n greater than or equal to 0. N greater than or equal to 0. Now, use the mathematical induction to show that 1 plus 2 square plus so on plus 2 power n is equal to 2 power n plus 1 minus 1. This is what we have to prove. In the same process, what we have to take the basis step is to be for n equal to 0. Let p of 0 is to be true, then we have to put in place of n by 0, then automatically we will get that is 2 power 0. Anything power 0 is equal to 1. That already we have to know that one. So 2 power 0 is equal to 1, then in place of this, this is equal to 2 power 0 plus 1 only. 2 power 0 plus 1. 2 power 0 plus 1. So that means this value is equal to 2 power 1, that is equal to 2, minus of 1 is there, then automatically the result is equal to 1. Then automatically the result is equal to 1. That means in place of the left hand side for n is equal to 1, and the right hand side this is also equal to 1. That means from this what we can say that, so the result is true for n is equal to 1 only. Now, so the second step is to be inductive step. In that inductive step, what we have to follow? Have to assume the same result is to be true for n is equal to k. Therefore, so I have to assume like this. This is called the inductive hypothesis. What we have to assume in the case of p of k. Therefore, assume p of k is true for an arbitrary non-negative integer k. Then p of k is equal to 1 plus 2 square plus 1 plus 2 power k is equal to 2 power k plus 1 minus 1. Under this assumption, it must be shown that p of k plus 1 is to be true. That means here, so now we have to conclude that the given statement is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. So for that purpose only, have to take, that means adding 2 power k plus 1 on both sides. 2 power, or simply in place of k by k plus 1 only, then that is equal to 2 power k plus 1. So that is equal to 2 power k plus 2 minus of 1. But here, so this k plus 2 I have to written as k plus 2 is equal to k plus 1 plus 1 only. K plus 1 plus 1 only. That is for our convenience, I have to write like this, k plus 1 plus 1. Therefore, 2 power k plus 1 plus 1 minus 1. Therefore, here from this relation what we have to conclude that, so please say this, in place of k plus 1, then automatically we will get that is 2 power k plus 1. This is 2 power k plus 1 plus 1 minus 1. 2 power k plus 1 minus 1. That means, so the result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1 only. The result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1 only. Now, so this is the way of proving any statement, any mathematical related statement. So we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. Now, so coming to the next concept, that is solving the inequalities. Whatever the contents are to be there, so those equalities, so that means we can prove by using the mathematical induction. That is obviously, so what we have to say, that is to be true. But how the inequalities? So the same mathematical induction is to be true, so is to be applied to the inequalities also. Now, for this, here, please say this, 4 power n minus 1 plus 2. 4 power n minus 1 minus of 7. This is our relation where n value is must be greater than or equal to 2 only. So this inequality we have to prove. This is our statement, p of n value. P of n value is equal to, that means, so here p of n is equal to, so 4 power n minus 1 minus of 7n. So this must be greater than 0. This is the inequality. This we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. Here n value is to be must be greater than or equal to 2. So because the condition is not applicable for n value is to be less than 2. So this is how that should be happens. Have to put n is equal to 1. Have to put n is equal to 1. Then automatically then P of 1 is equal to, so 4 minus 1 minus 7. Then this is equal to, so 4 minus 1 means that is 3 minus of 7, that is equal to minus of 4, which is to be less than 0. All of you catch my point? So this value is to be less than 0. But here the condition is to be given, that value is to be greater than 0. Now similarly we have to take put n is equal to 2. Similarly we have to take put n is equal to 2. Therefore, so P of 2 is equal to, so that is 4 square minus 1 minus 7 into 2. Then automatically this is 16 minus 1 minus 14 is equal to 1, which is also to be greater than 0. Which is also to be, therefore, so the result is to be true. So that means n greater than 2 means P of 2. So in that case, the value is to be, greater than 0. That means for the case of n is equal to 2, the result is to be true. Now, we have to assume the given inequality at the value of k, then automatically you can prove that the result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. This is how it happens. Have to assume that, so P of k is, so that means P of k value is to be, so P of k value is to be, P of k value is to be equal to, that means 4 power k minus 1 minus 7k, which must be greater than 0. So this is P of k value. This is the P of k value. This is the P of k value, that is 4 power k. So 4 power k minus 1 minus 7k, which must be greater than 0. Now we have to prove that inequality for n equal to k plus 1. Therefore, in that case we have to take that is P of k plus 1 is equal to, 4 power k plus 1 minus 1 minus 7 into k plus 1. 7 into k plus 1, isn't it or not? Then this is equal to, how we have to write? This 4 power k plus 1 I have to write, this one has to be 4 power k into 4 power 1. That means, so if the bases are to be equal, then we have to add the powers that already we have to learn in the previous classes. So if the bases are to be equal, then already we have to take the summation, we have to add the powers. So then minus of 1 minus of 7k minus of 7. Will you catch my point? Now, this is equal to, so then this is to be 4 power k into 4 minus of 1 minus of, so here what we did, have to take in by our conveniency, have to add like this, that is minus of 28k plus 14k, so minus of 7 for our conveniency, because whatever you have to assume the k condition, so that means P of k is equal to 4 power k minus 1 minus of 7k. So that condition we have to use in the k plus 1. That is why, so we have to add that we have to assume like that, minus of 28k, so plus 14k for k value is to be greater than 4 power k into 4 minus 1 minus 28k plus 14k minus 7. This how I have to write? This 4 power k into 4 minus of 28k minus of 8 plus 14k. I have to rearrange the terms for our conveniency. So because this condition we have to use, for that purpose only I have to consider like this. Now, so again have to take that is 4 power k into 4 minus 28k. Again this minus 8 is also can be splitted like this, minus 4 plus 14k. Please all of you observe this, from the first 3 terms of the relation have to take 4 as to be common, that means 4 into 4 power k minus of so 7k minus 1. So whatever the remaining terms are there, have to write this is 4k minus 14k minus 4. So because whatever you have to take the assumption, that means at k, n is equal to k, the result is to be true, you have to assume like that. For that, whenever this value is to be greater than 0, then automatically you have to multiply the positive term, that also will get the greater than 0. So automatically this value is to be greater than 0. Here also we can take the k value is to be positive, then automatically this total value is to be positive value. That means we can conclude that k value is to be greater than 0. Therefore, so here have to keep in your mind the n value is to be must be greater than 1 only. In that case, the inequality is to be true. That is how we have to prove by using the mathematical induction. Have to prove like this theorem. Okay. So this is our session only. So by using of this mathematical induction, so we have to prove by the inequalities and the equalities, whatever the propositions or the statements that should be available in mathematics, we can prove by using the mathematical induction. Now, so we want to see the practice problems. So for this, prove that 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus so on plus n square is equal to n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. So these problems you have to do in this session only. How we have to able to solve? So just only have to give the rough outlines only. So you may be able to solve all these two problems. Now here what we have, the nth value is to be n square. That means have to prove this relation by using the mathematical induction. So we can use the mathematical induction. So we have to follow the two steps. All of you keep in your mind. In the first step, have to prove the result by n is equal to 1. Now in the second step, what we did, so we have to assume at n is equal to k, the result is to be true. We can prove the same result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. This is the second thing we have to follow. So then, so please all of you see this. So here p of at n is equal to 1. At n is equal to 1. At n is equal to 1 only. So therefore, that is, so p of 1 is equal to n square. So that means in case of n, we have to consider n is equal to 1, that is to be 1 square equal to 1. That means the left hand side that may be getting, that is 1. In the right hand side, that is equal to 1 into 1 plus 1 into 2 into 1 plus 6 by 6. Then automatically we will get, so 1 into 1 plus 1 means 2 into 2 plus 6, that is 8 by 6. Then we will get, that is 3. 2n plus 1. So that is n is equal to 1. 2 plus 1. Sorry, 2 plus 1. 1. Sorry. 2 plus 1. 2 into 1 plus 1. 2 into 1 plus 1. So then that is equal to 3 only. Then that is equal to 3 only. Then automatically you have to cancelize the two terms. That is equal to 3 by 3 equal to 1. 1 equal to 1. That means at n is equal to 1, the left hand side is equal to right hand side. Then the result is to be true for n is equal to 1. So that means the p of 1 is to be true. So have to assume for n is equal to k only. So then automatically the result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. You have to prove like this. So for that purpose only, have to consider that is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus so on plus k square, that is equal to k into k plus 1 into 2k plus 1 by 6. That means here what we assume at n is equal to k, the result is to be true. Therefore, the assumption is like this. The assumption is to be like this. That means that is why what we have to call it as inductive hypothesis. Inductive hypothesis. So by that inductive hypothesis, the result is to be true for n is equal to k. Now what is our claim? So the result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. That is why here the nth term is to be n square. We can add the left hand side and the right hand side, k plus 1 square on both sides. Then automatically we will get, so 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus so on plus k square plus k plus 1 whole square is equal to. So in place of k is to be available in the right hand side, we have to replace k by k plus 1. So the students have to face the problem how we have to write this k plus 1. The students has to be face the problem. Please all of you look at the board. That is k plus 1. In place of k, we have to replace k by k plus 1. That is what we did here. Please don't confuse about that. So again, this is k plus 1 plus 1. This is the second term. Just I did only in place of k by k plus 1 I have to replace like this. In that similar way, so we have to prove that so n is equal to k plus 1. Have to prove that n is equal to k plus 1 only. That is why. So this is k plus 1 into k plus 1. So plus 1 by 6. So sorry, have to add the k plus 1 term. Sorry, k plus 1th term, that is equal to. That means this is to be. Have to add the k plus 1th term. That is k into k plus 1. So this is k into k plus 1 into, that is 2k plus 1 by 6 plus k plus 1 whole square. K plus 1 whole square. Just add the term. Now this is equal to, so from the two terms I have to take k plus 1 has to be common. That means k into 2k plus 1 by 6 plus k plus 1 by k plus 1. Then this automatically will get, so k plus 1 into, this is k plus 1 into, so that is multiply with k. That means 2k square, so plus k by 6 plus k plus 1. So this is equal to k plus 1 into, take 6 has to be common. This is 2k square plus k plus 6k plus 6. Isn't it or not? Then this is equal to k plus 1 into, this is 2k square plus 7k plus 6 by 6. Please all of you, so this is the quadratic equation of order 2. Then, so we have to know the factorization method, how we are able to factorize the quadratic equation. That means we will get 2k square plus, so 7k plus 6. So that already we have to know in the previous session. So we have to multiply the coefficient of k square and the constant, then we will get that is 12. So if you have to multiply those two factors, then we will get that is 12 is to be obtained. If the two roots are to be added, then automatically we will get the middle term, that is to be 7. This is the pattern of factorizing the given quadratic equation of order 2. Then here please all of you say that that is 3, 4 are the roots of the quadratic equation of order 2. Then, so that is if suppose the two terms we have to add, then automatically we will get that is 7k. Therefore, here the result is to be k square, 2k square plus the result is to be 2k square plus, the result is to be, so 2k square plus 2k square plus, so then this is 3k plus 4k plus 6. Okay, na? Now, so from the first two terms I have to take k has to be common, then we will get 2k plus 3. In the next two terms I have to take 2 has to be common, that means this value is to be 2k plus 3. Then this is equal to k plus 2, 2k plus 3, k plus 2 into 2k plus 3. These are the factors. Then, so this is equal to k plus 1 into, for this quadratic equation of order 2, we will get the factors are k plus 2 into 2k plus 3 by 6. All of you catch my point? Now, this how we have to write this is k plus 1 into, so I have to rearrange the term only, that is the result is to be true. How we have to get the result value is to be, so k plus 2 I have to write that is k plus 1 plus 1 into, again 2k plus 3 I have to write this one as to be 2 into k plus 1, so plus 1 by 6. By 6. All of you catch my point? So now this is k plus 1 plus k plus 1 plus 1 into 2 into k plus 1 plus 1 by 6. What we have to prove? So this value have to prove at the case of n is equal to k plus 1. So just only have to replace n by k plus 1. What we did in the previous, so just only have to do, so that is in that relation, so just only have to replace n by n plus 1 only. N by n plus 1 only. Then this is equal to, in place of n by n plus 1, just only have to replace n by n plus 1. In the right hand side of whatever we have to prove, so just only replace n by n plus 1, and here n plus 1 is there, in place of that one, n plus 1 plus 1, in place of n by n plus 1, that means 2 into n plus 1 plus 1 by 6. By 6. Just only I did. So we have to replace the right hand side, whatever we have to prove. So in that place only n by n plus 1 we have to replace. Then that is equal to n plus 1 into, this is n plus 2 into, so that is 2n plus 3, 2n plus 3 by 6. Whatever we will get here, so in place of n is equal to k plus 1, so that is k plus 1 into k plus 2 into 2k plus 3, but here in place of k by n only, the same result is to be obtained. What we conclude from this relation? The result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. Here, for proving of this statement, how we have to follow the steps in mathematical induction? First, we have to prove the result is to be true for n is equal to 1. In the second step, we have to assume at n is equal to k, the result is to be true. Then, finally, we have to prove the same result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. This is what the steps you have to follow for applying the mathematical induction. Whatever the statements or the propositions are to be available in the mathematics, have to use this mathematical induction like this way. So now, coming to this, the second concept is, the second problem is to be, so this is called as the sum of squares of the first n natural numbers. Sum of the squares of the first n natural numbers. So by using of this, I can able to solve the remaining next problem also. The remaining next problem also, that is why. What is the second result? So that is 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus 1 plus, so n cube is equal to n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. So this is called as the cube roots of first n natural numbers. The cubes of the first n natural numbers is equal to n square into, so n plus 1 whole square, n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Again you have to see this, then so you can do the problem as to be practice. So along with me, this is for n is equal, this is the result what we have to prove. This is the result what we have to prove. First, for n is equal to 1, we have to prove in the left hand side. So that means the term that should be available, so in our relation, so that is n cube only. N cube only. Please all of you do along with me. So then P of, put n is equal to 1 in the left hand side of the relation. So P of 1 is equal to 1 cube, that is equal to 1. In that similar way, so the right hand side term is to be n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Then this is equal to, just only have to replace, so 1 square into, so 1 plus 1 whole square by 4. 1 plus 1 whole square by 4. Then we will get, so that is 1 into 2 square means 4 by 4. Then automatically we will get that value is to be 1. Therefore, so in the left hand side that is 1 is equal to 1. the right hand side will get the value is to be 1 also. Then we can conclude that the given statement is to be true for n is equal to 1. Now, so coming to the second one, what is the second step what we have to follow for proving this statement or the relation? For proving this statement or the relation, so we have to assume the given statement is to be true for n is equal to k. That is what have to take, that is, so the statement is to be true for n is equal to k means, that means p of k is equal to 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on plus n cube is equal to, so on plus n cube is equal to k cube. So on plus the result is to be true for n is equal to k. N is equal to k only. That means have to take that is k cube. Just only have to replace n by k. So that is k square into k plus 1 whole square by 4. This is what our inductive hypothesis had to assume. So for n is equal to k, the given statement is to be true. Now, so for proving the given statement is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1, whatever the nth term is to be available in the left hand side of the given statement, so we have to add the term on both the left and right hand side of the given statement only. That means here this is called the nth term. Now we will require for the n plus 1th term means, that means you have to add n plus 1, just only replace n by n plus 1. Therefore, so this is our statement, that is 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on plus k cube plus k plus 1 whole cube is equal to, so k square into k plus 1 whole square by 4 plus that is k plus 1 whole cube. K plus 1 whole cube, have to take k plus 1 whole square has to be common in both of the terms, then we will get that is value is to be k plus 1 here. K plus 1 here. Then this value is equal to k plus 1 whole square into, take 4 has to be LCM, so this is k square plus 4 into k plus 1. 4 into k plus 1. Please all of you, one thing you have to keep in your mind, this 4 is to be applicable to the total term that should be available in the second term. So some of the students have to be did a mistake, just only they are multiplying with k only. They are left over the k, 1. So but that is to be applicable for both the terms only, k plus 1. Please all of you keep in your mind. That is equal to, so k plus 1 whole square into, this is k square plus 4k plus 4 by 4. All of you catch my point? So in that case, that is equal to, so k plus 1 whole square into, so this is what we have to write, this is k square plus, this 4k I have to write, this one has to be 2 into 2k into 1. So that is 2 into k into 1. 2 into k into 1. 2 into k into 1. 2 into k into 2 plus 2 square. For our convenience, you have to write like this by 4. By 4. Because we have to split this 4k in terms of 2 into k into 2. For our convenience, you have to write like this. So from this total term becomes, this is k plus 1 whole square into, this is in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square. Then what is the formula? That already had to, that is read in the, studied in the previous classes. That is a plus b whole square. So a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. In the similar way, this is k plus 2 whole square is equal to k square plus 2 into k into 2 plus 2 square. That is equal to k square plus 4k plus 4 only. That is why I have to write like this. Then this is equal to k square plus 4k I have to write like this. That is for that purpose only I have to write. 2 into k into 2 plus 2 square by 4. Then automatically we will get, this is value is to be k plus 2 whole square by 2. Isn't it or not? Now, for our conveniency, this is equal to k plus 1 whole square into, this is this k plus 2 I have to write, this one has to be k plus 1 plus 1 whole square by 2. Then whatever you have to prove in place of that one only, so we have to take n by k plus 1. N by k plus 1, just only have to replace that one. So that is k plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1 whole square. This is also to be whole square by 4. Then we will get that k plus 1 whole square into, this is k plus 2 whole square by 4. All of you catch your point? K plus 1 whole square into k plus 2 whole square by 4. This is what we will get here. The meaning of that one is, the result is to be true for n equal to k plus 2. N equal to k plus 2. All of you catch your point? So this is what we have to done. So already you have to take the rough outlines. By using of this, we can able to solve all these two problems in the next class onwards. Okay. Now coming to the next session, that is equal to so practice problems. Please all of you note down these problems. In the next class onwards, I have to complete these two problems. Whatever I have to give outlines. By using of that, we have to prove these two results. Now, so the summary of this session is what you have to learn from this session. So you should understand the principle of mathematical induction well and do the basic induction proofs like the proving equality, proving inequality, and the proving the properties, whatever the statements or the propositions that should be available in the mathematics. All these are to be proved by using the mathematical induction. The mathematical induction has a wide range application, especially in computer science and food technology, whatever the courses are to be offered or university. Okay, this mathematical induction is to be applicable. Now, finally, your assignment is, so that means I have to give some of the problems has to be practiced. So we have to discuss the concepts of mathematical induction. The first one is another example of the sum of the formula, some formula dependent on an integer n is that of the sum of the first n odds. Odds means that is odd numbers only. Odds, the pattern is as follows: 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 1 plus 2n minus 1 is equal to n square. Here n must be the greater than or equal to 0. That means the sum of the odd terms is equal to n square. This is what I had to prove, the same whatever I had to discuss in the previous class. So next one, second one is, for every positive integer n, prove that 7 power n minus 3 power n is divisible by 4. That means here the statement is to be, so P of n is equal to 7 power n minus 3 power n, so by 4. So this is our statement. Just I have to give the outlines. For n is equal to 1, therefore P of 1 is equal to, so 7 power 1 minus 3 power 1 by 4. By 4, that is equal to 7 by 3, 7 minus 3, that is 4 by 4, then automatically we will get the value is to be 1. In the similar way, we had to assume the result is to be true for n is equal to k, and assume and prove the result is to be true for n is equal to k plus 1. Similarly, use the mathematical induction to prove that n is less than 2 power n for all the positive integer n. And also the next one is use the mathematical induction to prove that 2 power n is less than n factorial for every integer n greater than or equal to 4. N greater than or equal to 4. These are the conditions. Okay, these problems you have to complete in the next session. Thank you. Thank you for kind listening.